maelezo zaidi tembelea www.who.int.
A very good afternoon to you. We sure hope you're having yourself a lovely day so far. My name is Kiptum. Welcome to KBC Lunchtime News. Today we shall be having a conversation on the 100 million shillings that the president set aside to fund artists. There has been a row on who is supposed to receive that money and how it's supposed to be implemented. That conversation is coming up, but first let's have the news. We start off in Naivasha, where a section of residents of Naivasha now want the police roadblock mounted at Laini Trading Center relocated, claiming it is doing them more damage than good. The locals argue that the roadblock, which was meant to curtail movement of motorists from Nairobi, is inconveniencing travel and business within Naivasha sub-county.
Joseph Mburu says he is a frustrated man after being denied access into Naivasha town to seek treatment for his ailing son.
Sasa wanatusaidia nini na tunaenda miguu na tuko na wagonjwa? Hata kama ni mama mkogwe, hata yeye anatembea tu mguu.
Mburu is among hundreds of residents of Naivasha sub-county who say they have been greatly inconvenienced by this police roadblock.
Tumetoka Kinungi miguu na sasa tuko hapa. Tunatoa mzigo huko tunarudisha padi hii. Hakika serikali isikie huruma. Hatuna chakula, hatuna namna. Sasa tutafanya nini? Na watu wanataka mboga ya kukula, watu watafanya nini?
Mimi nikiwa kama mfanyibiashara wa Naivasha, maisha imekuwa ngumu sana. Kwa sababu kama ni mzigo hii kama nimebeba, kutoka penye nimeitoa mpaka penye nitaielekesha, nikifanya hesabu za magari barabara, kutoka Naivasha zamani wakati kulikuwa kuzuri, tulikuwa tunaenda na 100 na tunarudishwa na 100. Hiyo ni 200. Sasa hizi unafanya transport ya 600. Uko umebeba kama mzigo kama hii na mgongo. Transport peke yake 600. Tebu niambie hata ufanye hii hesabu ya hii mzigo ambao nimebeba, utoe 600 ya transport. Mtoto anataka kukula. Mtu atakaa maisha namna gani? Imekuwa ngumu, imekuwa mzito. Tusaidieni serikali.
But police say the roadblock which was mounted 3 weeks ago will remain in place in a bid to stop the spread of COVID-19. Residents are calling on the government to relocate the roadblock as traders are increasingly getting frustrated in their efforts to deliver basic commodities to local markets.
Now, there was tension at Ziwani bus terminus in Nakuru County after a group of rowdy youth, allegedly from Bondeni Estate, vandalized Matatus in the area. The youth accused the Matatu operators of going for nature calls in an area bordering their homes, yet a public toilet is in place at the terminus.
Agitated youth from Bondeni area in Nakuru County confronted Matatu operators at the Ziwani bus terminus for what they term has become a nuisance. The youth claim that the Matatu operators have failed to use laboratory facilities at the terminus and instead opt to answer the call of nature in the open next to their homes, hence polluting the environment.
Walikuwa wanasema hatuwezi kojoa pale, watu hawezi kojoa pale, watu wasikojoe pale, lazima waende kwa vile vio. Sasa katika hizo harakati sikuwa nimeelewa ni nini juu tulikuwa tumeconcentrate na kuandikia customer. Kidogo mawe ndio hiyo, magari inagongwa, tumeongwa magari mingi hapa, tukaacha magari tukakimbilia usalama.
Mambo yote imetokea sababu ya hii choo ambayo imeletwa hapa. wanapiga kelele, wanasema ati watu lazima waende choo hapo. Sasa walikuwa ni kitu walikuwa wamepanga, wakasema ati mtu yote mwenye atenda kukojoa hapo bila kulipa watakuja waanze kuvunja magari.
15 vehicles were allegedly vandalized during the melee.
Nimekuja asubuhi nikaweka gari pale mahali tuna park ndio tubebe. Nikawekelewa mbao juu. Kidogo hivi nikasikia hao watu ya bondeni wamecharge, wanakuja mbio na mamawe wanarusha. Nikataka niingie kwa gari nikimbie naye, nikaona magari ni mengi na wamenifikia na mawe inakuja ikihaul. Wengine wamenigonga hapo kwa mguu. Nikaacha gari ndio tukatorokea usalama tukikimbia hivi.
Police were later able to contain the situation. The Matatu operators now want the county government to allocate them an alternative terminus at the town's central business district for their safety.
Mimi ningeomba gavana wetu Ricky Nyanjui, kama watu wa matatu wamekukosea, tungeomba msamaha, lakini turudi mahali ambapo pako na security na ambapo mahali tunaweza kufanya kazi. Kama hata ni corona tuliambiwa tuje pande chini kwa sababu ya corona. Hapa ndio kuongeza corona juu ya corona juu ya corona.
Irene Mchuma, Odim, Channel 1.
Now, the government of Saudi Arabia has distributed relief food to a number of families in Nairobi as part of the Ramadan celebration and fighting the coronavirus pandemic. The Saudi Arabia ambassador to Kenya, Dr. Mohammed bin Abdul, says there is need for organizations and other established entities to inculcate the spirit of sharing in a bid to assist the most vulnerable in the society, more so during this period of the pandemic.
Over 1,200 cartons containing food items has been distributed to different counties by the Saudi Arabia government in a bid to cushion the most vulnerable at these times of the coronavirus pandemic. According to Saudi Arabia ambassador to Kenya, Dr. Mohammed Hayat, the move is tailored at ensuring that families who have been adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic do not suffer more.
We will distribute over 1,100 boxes, same as this box. With such of circumstances, we have to be all together. We have to support each other. So the government is always available, supporting all over the world. And Kenya is a really close and friendly country. So we participated beginning of this month. We distributed some basket food and some dates. And we are, as you see, continuing supporting the community and people here in Kenya.
The food items that were distributed include sugar, rice, cooking oil, dates, flour, tea leaves, milk, among many other donations, and according to the envoy, is part of his government efforts to assist the society.
With the coronavirus, the Saudi government preferred to give a family box basket food contains 33 kilo. It has maize, it has dates, it has milk, it has oil and some other family stuff for food. Hopefully this basket can help poor people in Kenya, our friend, brother and sisters, Muslim community and some other community.
Lafay, Member of Parliament in Mandera County, Ibrahim Abdi, also accompanied the ambassador, called on leaders to stop politicking and focus on helping to combat the pandemic by assisting those who are facing difficulties.
And I think it will do a lot of help and great assistance to those people who are not able to feed themselves, especially at this time of the Ramadan. So I think, and it's not only to me, but to those who are here now, but it is these gifts have been given to several places in the country, and so we are very, very grateful to the Saudi government, and we hope this kind of gesture will continue.
And we really appreciate the work that the ambassador of Saudi Arabia are doing.
But unfortunately, most of the members are very vulnerable, and they live under $1 a day. And so we approached the Saudi Arabia embassy, and we are very grateful that they have heeded to our call and that they have helped sisters.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Timothy Kitmaso.
Indeed, that spirit of sharing is what is needed at this time, and that spirit continues in Kiambu County, where the health department has received a donation of 100 beds worth 10 million shillings to enhance preparedness to combat COVID-19. 50 of the beds will go to Kenya Medical Training College in Thika, which has been established as an isolation center, while the rest will be distributed to various quarantine centers across the county.
The versatile hospital beds are made of recycled materials such as used plastic bottles and polythene bags. KVN Kenya Limited Chairman Kimani Rugendo says that the beds are water, fire and bacteria proof and almost break resistant, making them resilient enough to last many years.
50 of them are going to be left here and 50 are going to be delivered elsewhere in Kiambu, courtesy of the Director of Medical Services here, who will decide the centers that they are going to send these beds to.
Rugendo urged the government to adequately facilitate medical personnel to ensure they are prepared and well protected as they work in the front line combating the contagious coronavirus.
All we have to do, all of us, is get them armed, ensure that they are also as prepared and they are as protected.
Kiambu Acting Director in charge of Nursing Services, Agustin Njuguna, revealed that the county had established more quarantine centers which are set to isolate 175 patients collectively.
Thika MTC has a capacity of 150. Kenya Institute of Science and Technology has a capacity of 150. And Karoli Medical Training College has a capacity of 25.
Meanwhile, Garissa County government has revised upwards the list of families to benefit from food aid. County Secretary Abdi Ali said they will support 7,000 internally displaced persons affected by floods.
Kazi yao ilikuwa tu kibarua ya kila siku na vile kazi imekuja, now they are really suffering at home, and this has been compounded by the holy month of Ramadan. So with the blessing of Almighty God, we'll reach out to all those vulnerable families.
He warned those who are floating movement restrictions in Isili and using undesignated routes to escape, saying they are putting the lives of the residents of Garissa at risk.
We have also nabbed an accomplice, somebody a lady who accompanied him from Nairobi, and she was nabbed yesterday. They are under quarantine, under 24-hour protection, and will ensure that we will safeguard the health of this citizen of Garissa County.
Suleiman Yeri, Channel 1 News.
That story brings us to our first break here on KBC Lunchtime News. Remember, you can get in touch with us on Twitter at KBC Channel 1. My personal Twitter handle is at Betty Kiptum. Let's interact. We'll be back in a short while.
On the next episode of Corner.
You should be in jail. How about the police? Uncle Jimmy Wanjala?
I didn't do anything to her.
That's what the guilty always say.
You only have to micromanage incompetent people.
Nilifanyaje? Nilimpa space alivyotaka, lakini nilijua pia ananihitaji. Sasa unaona mimi sijui vile naweza fanya hivi. Take it out.
Kwani kuna noma buda boss?
Mbona huku niambia ukweli? On the next episode of Elena's Ghost.
I'm not blind. I see how you two look at each other. You two are siblings and you must never forget that.
Are you leaving? You're going to leave me alone?
You don't need to worry. This is your home, and you'll be safe here.
Don't bother coming back here empty-handed. You have to get rid of Elena.
I thought you were going to do it.
I'm too far away, Montecristo. You have to do it yourself. Well, so I see that they were the ones who kidnapped Latonia.
Welcome back. You are watching Channel 1 Lunchtime News. I'm Betty Kiptum and Lucy Maura is my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Now to a rather unfortunate story. A 19-year-old man died following a mob justice incident at Komarok area of Nairobi last night. The man, identified as Derek Ndungu, is said to have been stoned to death by an angry mob after stealing a phone. In a turn of events, however, the mother to the 19-year-old has expressed a sigh of relief over her son's death, claiming his rogue behavior had caused her endless trauma and stress.
The death of a family member on normal occasions would cause nothing but pain and sorrow. But that is not the case for Susan Wangoi, a resident in Kayole. News of the passing on of his son, she says, brought a sigh of relief to her.
Mi mwenyewe kuna wakati aliletwa kaa ameibia mtu. Mi mwenyewe nikaita polisi wakamshika na akapelekwa ndani. Kupelekwa ndani akakaa miezi 3. Miezi 3 nikakuja nikabembelezwa na manko zake na manti zake na nyanya yake. Wakaniambia nimtoe, nikamtoa na bond ya $500,000. Venye alitoka nikamwambia tena wacha nikuwekee kazi. Amekataa kazi, hataki kufanya kazi. Kazi yake ni kuiba. Mimi najua ni mwizi.
An incident at Komarok in Nairobi Tuesday night cut short the life of a 19-year-old boy, Derek Ndungu, after a mob descended on him for allegedly snatching a phone. The mother says this is not shocking to her.
Nilimwambia hata asiyesikia la mamake hukufa. Hayo ndio yamempata juu nimejaribu kumuongelesha hasikii. Hata sasa hii ameitwa na simu. Akachomoka akasema anaitwa na demi yake na msupa. Akaambiwa huyo msupa akamwambia anaitwa na kijana fulani. Hata ameniwachanishia hivyo, alikuwa ananifanyia kazi, ameniwachanishia akatoka. Na wale vijana wanatembeanga na yeye, hata hao anawaambia wembe ni huo huo. Wasiposikia wembe ni huo huo.
She claims her son engaged in rogue behavior as her efforts to mend him proved futile.
Akamaliza driving. Kumaliza driving, nikamwambia nimwekee kazi ya duka. Akakataa. Nikamwambia nimwekee electronics. Akakataa. Nikamwambia waendeange makaa Busia na huyu anti yake. Akakataa. Namwambia ingie mjengo juu niko na watu wa kazi huko wanashinda wakijenga. Anakataa na niambia yeye hawezi fanya kazi mzito.
The disease is said to have been involved in petty theft. Confirming the incident, Komarok South Assistant Chief Charles Ouma condemned the mob justice incident, noting that cases of youth terrorizing residents in Komarok, Umoja and Kariobangi estates have been on the rise. The body was taken to City Mortuary as police launch investigation on the matter.
And 10 families in Kangundo were forced to spend the night in the cold after their landlord allegedly removed doors and windows in a bid to eject them from the property. The tenants say the 1.5-week notice given to them was not enough to enable them seek alternative accommodation.
Rachel Nziva cuddles her baby in a desperate attempt to keep warm. Rachel says she has nowhere to go and with no food to feed her baby after her house was demolished in a row with her landlord.
Nitoka hapa asubuhi naishi kwa hii plot. Nilienda kutafuta kibarua nikibeba mtoto. Kurudi saa 9 nilipata milango imebomolewa na dirisha. Sasa nikashindwa nafanya nini? Sikuwa nimebeba nguo ya mtoto ya kumchange. Mtoto hajakula, tumeshinda hivyo kutoka asubuhi. Sasa anashindwa ni nini kilifanyika, hatukuwa tumeambiwa asubuhi kama kutabomolewa.
She is part of a dozen other tenants forced to spend the night in the cold after their houses were demolished allegedly by their landlord.
masaa ya jioni kurudi, nikapata milango ishabomolewa, nilisha kila kitu. Sasa tukaanza kuuliza tutalala wapi na tutafanya nini? Hakuna hata chakula. Hata ukiingia kwa nyumba hakuna chakula, na hata bado tulikuwa tunafanya mahesabu ya kwenda kukopa unga. Tukapata kila kitu imebomolewa, hata vitu zingine zimebebwa, hakuna security ya kuangalia hizo vitu.
Sasa tunashindwa tutaenda wapi na tutalala waji leo juu kuna baridi. Hata mtoto anafaa kuwa kwa masomo akisoma, na saa hii ako hapa nje hajui venye atafanya. Hata mimi nashindwa nitamuelezea nini.
They say they were given a short notice to vacate, but argue that the timing was neither good nor safe. Meanwhile, the Coast Civil Society's reference group for human rights and security has condemned the ongoing evictions and demolitions in some parts of the country. The group says the evictions go against efforts to combat the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic.
It seems that some people are hiding behind the mask. Behind every eviction, there's somebody hiding behind the mask. And we should ask them, who are these people? Who gave permission to evict people in Utangi? Who is threatening the people here in Changamwe? What about Kariobangi? Who are the people hiding behind these masks?
They called on the government to address the matter and act promptly to save Kenyans who are already bearing the brunt of the global pandemic.
Moving on, the Ministry of Health has received medical supplies worth 1 million shillings from the Laboratory and Allied Limited to help in the fight against coronavirus. Health Chief Administrative Secretary Dr. Rashid Aman, while receiving the supplies, underscored the central part well-wishers play in augmenting the government efforts in the war against the coronavirus pandemic.
At the Afya House in Nairobi, the government received a major boost in its efforts to fight coronavirus after receiving 3,000 packs of paracetamol and 5,000 sanitizers from the Laboratory and Allied Limited.
I want to express our gratitude to all these institutions and companies that are coming forth to make donations and to support us in our COVID response.
Health Chief Administrative Secretary Dr. Rashid Aman said the ministry has so far received tremendous support from local companies to help in the war against the pandemic.
COVID-19 is one thing that has brought all Kenyans together. All Kenyans realize that our fate is intertwined as far as fighting this pandemic is concerned. And I think that is a great spirit that we need to nurture, that we need to be together and we need to work together in order to be able to beat this pandemic.
Laboratory and Allied Limited Director Naita Patel said the donation was part of the company's corporate social responsibility aimed at defeating the threat of coronavirus in the country.
As Kenyans have come together in this pandemic, and how we're showcasing to the world that yes, Kenya is able to fight the pandemic, and through local means, through local entrepreneurship, and it is our belief that we will be able to fight this collectively and together.
And Lab and Allied is celebrating its 50 years of existence this year, and just by coincidence that this pandemic came in, we would like to assure the ministry that we are always ready whenever such disasters and crises come up. We are ready to step in and contribute in whatever ways we can.
Earlier, the ministry received antiretroviral drug supplies from the government of India to support the fight against HIV and AIDS. According to the ministry, all donations will be distributed in a more prudent manner. Ben Chumba, reporting for Channel 1 News.
President Andry Rajoelina has said criticism of an untested herbal tonic that he is touting as a treatment for COVID-19 shows the West's condescending attitude towards Africa. The World Health Organization has warned against using untested medications for the new virus. More than 4.26 million people around the world have been confirmed with the coronavirus, according to data compiled by Johns Hopkins University, with more than 291,000 deaths recorded. Nearly 1.5 million people have recovered.
Madagascar's President Andry Rajoelina argues that if it was a Western country that had actually discovered the said COVID-19 remedy, there would be no much doubt, saying criticism of an untested herbal organic shows the West's negative attitude towards Africa.
Today, I think that I am convinced, in fact, that history will prove us right. But today, there are already 2 cases that have been cured with the COVID organics, but we'll actually see what happens next.
The World Health Organization has since said Africans deserved access to medicines that have gone through proper trials, even if they are derived from traditional treatments. The African Union has also said it wanted to see the scientific data on the safety and efficacy of the product known as COVID organics. Despite the reservations, several African countries, including Nigeria, Guinea-Bissau, Equatorial Guinea, and Liberia, have already ordered COVID organics, which is produced from the Artemisia plant, the source of an ingredient used in a malaria treatment and other Malagasy plants. Madagascar has reported 193 COVID-19 cases and no deaths. There are now more than over 69,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 across Africa, with a number of African countries imposing a range of prevention and containment measures against the spread of the pandemic. Elsewhere, people in England who cannot work from home are being encouraged to return to their workplaces Wednesday as the UK government begins easing some lockdown measures. Under the new rules, garden centres can also reopen and people can meet one person from outside their household. In China, the city of Jilin has imposed travel restrictions, closed off residential areas and banned gatherings after a number of coronavirus cases were confirmed in the northeastern city. Germany has seen 798 new infections over the past 24 hours, authorities said on Wednesday. The daily death toll rose by 101 to 7,634. Thailand reported no new virus infections for the past 24 hours, the first time since March 9 the daily toll was 0. There are 3,017 cases overall in Thailand, with 56 deaths. Of the remaining cases, but all 163 have recovered. At the same time, South Korea's Prime Minister has told club goers who may have been infected with COVID-19 in Seoul's Pati district that they must come forward this week. Some 119 cases have been confirmed in a cluster of infections from nightclubs in the country's capital. More than 4.2 million cases of COVID-19 have been recorded worldwide, including at least 291,000 deaths. Purity Museo, Channel 1 News.
Back home, residents of Kedowa area in Kericho County are pleading with the government to help in the search of a missing person believed to have drowned in a river a week ago. 22-year-old Victor Kiprono is said to have drowned as he crossed Timbilwet River to avoid arrest by the Kenya Forest Service officers who were pursuing him.
Kedowa residents have tried in vain to search for the body of a missing man said to have drowned at Timbilwet River a week ago. Victor Kiprono is said to have been swept away by the raging waters of Timbilwet River as he attempted to run away from the Kenya Forest Service officers who were pursuing him.
Mapolisi wakati waliona huyo kijana alikuwa analeta boss kutoka forest. Sasa polisi wakasimamisha hiyo gari yao, alafu wakateremuka wakafukuza huyo kijana mpaka wakaingiza maji. Baadaye kijana anasema okoa.
Na kwa vile maji ilikuwa mingi, mvua ilikuwa inanyesha mingi, ndio hiyo mtoto aliingia kwa maji. Nao wakachukua mapost wakaenda naye. Walipeleka wapi hiyo mapost?
The body of the 22-year-old man has not been found since then, as local divers' efforts have been in vain.
Alipelekwa na maji. Na tujue huyo kijana sijui alipelekwa na maji mpaka wapi.
The residents now want government authorities to help in the search.
Serikali, national government, county government, please, kama ni kutafuta divers, mkuje mtutafutie divers, wakuje watafute huyo kijana, alafu familia ya huyo kijana wakuwe na roho ama wakuwe na raha.
On Sunday, police had to disperse the residents with tear gas who had blocked Kericho-Nakuru highway, demanding for the search of the body by the government authorities. Kamche Menza for Channel 1 News.
Now, authorities in Migori County are searching for 8 people who escaped from the Mabera Holding Center yesterday for fear of contracting the novel coronavirus. They are among 96 people who are being quarantined at the facility and are said to have run away after it emerged that the 3 latest confirmed COVID-19 cases in the county are from the center.
Migori County has 10 confirmed cases of coronavirus, with the latest 3 emerging from Mabera Holding. Yesterday, 8 people escaped after learning of the new development.
We have right to take us. We have right to talk to them because tunaumia.
Those still being quarantined at the facility are decrying poor sanitation and congestion, which they say exposes them to the virus.
The rooms watu wametolewa pa watatu eti wako na corona. Na tunalala kwa room moja watu 10.
They further claim there has been no mass testing in the center.
Nimetolewa kwa nyumba yangu na leta hapa na watoto. Why should they test me for the first day? Then I go because I'm used to travel. They should test me, then I leave. Kama niko na ugonjwa, why am I nipati watu wengine?
Meanwhile, Homa Bay County nurses have vowed to soldier on with the fight against COVID-19 despite numerous challenges.
I want to encourage our own, the nurses. I know it is that hard, but because we are professionals, we know how we are supposed to take care of ourselves. We know how to protect ourselves.
Speaking during the event to mark the International Nurses Day, Kenya National Union officials led by Homa Bay Branch Chairman George Juma in the county say they had prepared members psychologically to deal with any situation that may arise from handling the cases.
The welfare of nurses first, and you will achieve health. In fact, nurses are with the patients 24 hours, in fact 24/7.
The nurses spend the day in pediatric wards. Suleiman Yeri, Channel 1 News.
Now, road contractors who do substandard works in Nyandarua County risk not being paid. Governor Francis Kimemia says his administration will work closely with residents to monitor constructions and slap such contractors with stiff penalties.
The county government of Nyandarua has pumped in 500 million shillings in construction equipment for roads in the region. Funds Nyandarua County boss Francis Kimemia won't go to waste.
Tumesema barabara zote ambazo hazijafikia kiwango ambacho ni cha standard ya ambayo inakubalika. Huyo contractor hata lipwa pesa mpaka arudie hiyo barabara. Kama alijenga kukuwa na mvua, hiyo mchanga ikaharibiwa ama mawe ikaharibiwa, ni jukumu lake ku make sure kwamba arudie hiyo kazi.
He directed that those contracted to construct roads must do a good job. Kimemia says a county service delivery unit will work closely with residents in monitoring implementation of before payment for the works.
Kila sub-county sasa iko na mashine yake ya kujenga barabara zake. Kwa hivyo itakuwa ni mara ya kwanza hii katika historia ya Kenya ya kwamba Nyandarua County imeweza kuhifadhi barabara zake.
Nyandarua County government has received additional 350 million shillings from the national government to aid in the construction of collapsed bridges and road construction. Kimemia says the move would address challenges of dilapidated roads in the region.
Tuona kwamba barabara zetu zote kilomita 3,000 ambazo zinahitaji kuwekwa mawe na kuchimbwa zingine upya zote zitajengwa sasa.
Irene Mchuma, Udim, Channel 1.
That is where we take our second break here on KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. Now, Kanyora Tech, you are saying you are watching from Muranga Gaturi. Ainamoi Pundit, you are also watching from Ainamoi. Many thanks for staying tuned. We'll be back with more news, including business as well as sports. Stay tuned.